They told her not to leave. That shocked me. That's just a recipe for disaster. You're gambling with your life. A lot of RVs being sold with potential damage. Time to leave Florida, get away from Hurricane Ian. Get me out of here. I'm Tom.
And I'm Cheri.
And we're EnjoyTheJourney.Life. Don't trust a local. This is evacuating Hurricane Ian in an RV. The storm is looking worse than when I left Florida just a couple days ago. And there are mandatory evacuations coming if they're not already happening now. If you're in an RV, you need to get out now. RVs are just not built to sustain hurricane winds, and your RV will become just another piece of debris blowing around in the hurricane, and you don't want that. If you can't move your RV, then you need to get out in just your vehicle or go to a shelter. Thank you so much to all of you that offered advice and tips and places to stay on the video we released on Sunday. I am in a safe place in South Carolina. I'll tell you more about that later, but many of you and some of our other viewers need help. Kind of caught off guard with this storm, and now the roads are jammed. Everybody's trying to get out with either mandatory evacuations that have been put out there or they're coming soon. But either way, again, if you're in an RV, you need to leave now. You may not know where you can go, but you still need to get going. I'm going to put a lot of resources in this video and a couple of other links to other videos and resources where you can find a place to stay. There are many, many places to stay, but first, for the viewers that reached out and offered a place for me to stay, please comment down below if you have a place you can offer for other RVers that need a place to stay that don't have that support right now. If you're in Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, any place that isn't a safe place currently outside of this storm, please comment down below. List your contact information if you would, please, with the understanding that everybody here is only going to use that information for helping others in an emergency. And I think this is just an opportunity where all of you out there can help make a difference to thousands of other RVers trying to get out of the way of Hurricane Ian. If you're not comfortable putting your contact information down there, then please check back for people that comment and leave their information. Those RVers out there that need help, you can leave your information down below someone's comment that has a place to stay. Now, that's just one way. I'm going to list as many places as possible on this video as well. And thank you so much for being kind, and let's make sure everybody gets out safely. And some of you out there might be saying, well, why don't people just stay in campgrounds? Why do they need a parking lot to stay at, or a farm or something like that? Well, a lot of the campgrounds get booked up quickly. Those that have any spaces will get booked up right away by the first people that evacuated early. There needs to be spaces for thousands. That's why we need extra places to park and unusual places to park. So again, if you know of a place, please share that down below with as much contact information as possible. I have made several videos on this channel in the past that listed free places to stay overnight, some of them secret and unusual. I will link to those videos, but don't just watch the video, read the comments. Sometimes these videos have hundreds of comments where viewers have offered other places to stay. So if you've got the time and you need a place to stay, check out those videos in the pinned comment or the description below. Now, other places like Harvest Hosts and Boondockers Welcome, I reached out to them. I haven't heard back yet, but you can always ask. A lot of them have a one-night stay maximum. You can simply say, look, I'm evacuating Hurricane Ian. Is it possible I could stay longer than one night? It doesn't hurt to ask. And if they say yes, I would just do it. Hopefully, Harvest Hosts and Boondockers Welcome will come through with some word that they're waiving some of these rules or allowing hosts to do that. But you can always ask. And if you ask a Boondockers Welcome host or a Harvest Hosts member to stay longer, make sure you make a larger purchase. Maybe buy some extra products for gifts, or leave a bigger tip if it's a Boondockers Welcome host. If they extend a welcoming hand to you that is not normal, please do the same for them. Speaking of asking, I stayed at a Microtel hotel last night, parking lot. Crazy way this worked out. Maybe I'll share that story on here, but not a typical place to stay in a hotel parking lot. But if you ask and say what's going on, even a Walmart that doesn't allow parking, say, hey, I just escaped the hurricane zone. I need a quick place to spend the night or maybe the next week just to wait out the storm. Do it. It doesn't hurt to ask. I bet you will hear yes most of the time. It reminds me of a story. I don't remember which hurricane. Cheri and I have shared this story on the channel before. A Walmart allowed campers to stay, I think, a whole week because of another serious storm. And every morning they came out with coffee and donuts for the RVers that were in their lot. Just amazing, touching stories of again, how we can be kind to each other right now when it means so much, because we don't want anybody caught in this storm. So what did I do? I tried a new app called CampNAB. My very first time trying it out, and I got a campsite like within a couple of minutes. I'll put a link down below for that. What this app does is it searches for cancellations, and then you get an opportunity to book that cancellation from somebody else. How can this be helpful right now? I mean, obviously you don't want a cancellation in the hurricane zone where it's dangerous, but a lot of people are canceling their trips that are even outside of the evacuation zones or the danger zone. So maybe it's an area that's going to get rain and weather and stuff like that, like here in South Carolina, but it's still a lot better than tropical storm or hurricane force winds. So still check out that app if you want a regular full hookup campsite like this one. It's in a beautiful state park. I found it through Friday morning, and again, I'm in the South Carolina area, and I don't know that I'm in the clear here. I'm going to spend some time here with Cheri's family. Her mom and Cheri are here at her place right now, and we'll hang out for a while and then just kind of see what to do at the end of the week. But keep in mind, sometimes you just need to get out of the worst of the weather, even though you might take some of the storm. But if it's, you know, a lot less of a storm, you're going to be safer there than in the worst parts of the storm. And Kelly commented on our Facebook page that they were in the same park that I was at down in Bradenton, Florida, and they just evacuated to Georgia. So glad you guys are safe. But Kelly said something that disturbed me, some advice she heard from the locals that have been down in that area for years and are staying in that park in some of the mobile home type units there. And they told her not to leave, that it's been over 100 years since a hurricane has hit that area, and not to leave. That shocked me. I mean, just because those might be statistics, that doesn't mean this is not going to hit you. I mean, that's just a recipe for disaster. So be careful who you get your advice from. I shared it in the last video that if you make a decision to leave and you didn't have to, no big deal, maybe a little extra expense in gas or whatever. But if you make the wrong decision and you stay and you get hit and hit hard, then I mean, that's it. You're gambling with your life. So be careful where you get your advice. Trust the local government officials that are handling the evacuation procedures. But again, in an RV, you want to get out now. You want to get out early so you can avoid as much traffic as possible, so you're not stuck on the few highways getting out of there. And I heard a similar comment watching the Weather Channel. They were interviewing a local mayor and talking about, well, what about all the new people that have moved to the area? You know, do they know what to do? The mayor said, well, I'm not so concerned about the new people in the area as I am the long-term residents that have been here, because they've gotten so used to not being hit by these storms. They kind of think, hurricane, no big deal. Actually, somebody commented on our first video that basically had that kind of attitude, that they don't really worry about the hurricanes when they come to the area. That sounds like a recipe for disaster. And you know, Florida is a huge place, so it's not like hurricanes hit the same spot every year, even though hurricanes hit every year. So again, be careful who you listen to for advice. Always default to the local government officials. And one viewer commented on our first video asking, what do all the RV dealers do with the hundreds of RVs on their lot? Great question. If anybody out there knows, let us know. I don't think they have anywhere to put them. I think it's just, if it gets hit and they get damaged, there's going to be a huge insurance claim, and then a lot of RVs being sold with potential damage. But if you know, comment down below what the answer is. Now again, Cheri and I are in the South Carolina area. I think we're good until the end of this week, but I'm not sure. It looks like another storm is interacting with the hurricane and could bring some pretty bad weather here. So hopefully, we'll cross our fingers that this area will work out for us as well. But just like I did a couple days ago, if I need to leave this area and go somewhere else, I certainly will. If you are evacuating, please comment down below and let us know that you got out of the way of the hurricane and are safe. We will plan another update as soon as we can and share Cheri's story about going through Hurricane Hugo, and it destroyed her family's home while they were in it. So she has quite a story to share and some additional tips. But stay safe out there, and we will see you again soon.